Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, as you can see, we have us an American Blade Works Model 1 on the table in front of us. Now, I just want to be clear that this video is not about this knife, for the most part. It's about the Ultem scales. That is the extent of this video. The knife itself is an absolutely fantastic knife. Uh, It's so well done, so well built. The action is fantastic, and it's ergonomically terrific. I can feel the clip a little bit more than I would like, and I'm pretty sure I said that in my previous review, but it's not bad. It's just I can feel it a little bit more than I'd like to. Love the Wharncliffe blade, the overall, shape, size of this knife. It's absolutely fantastic. And depending on when you see this video, I really hope to be seeing and visiting the American Blade Works table at Blade Show West when we are there. But this is all about the Ultem. And I have to give a shout out to Bryan Wise for sending this one out. It is MagnaCut too. Yeah, buddy. For sending this out because, I have not seen Ultem in person. Had not seen it, seen pictures, videos, and, from that, was not a fan. Was not a fan. And so Bryan just hit me up one day and he's like, hey, would you actually like to get it in hand, see it in person, and make a decision on whether you really like it or not? And I was like, absolutely, I would love that. So shout out to Bryan for sending out not only a knife with Ultem, but it's nice to get an ABW back in the hand. Absolutely. But now, the Ultem scales. Ultem is supposed to be a, temperature resistant. It's high temp. I think it resists temps up to like 476 degrees or something like that. It's light. It's durable. They use it on aircraft. I mean, it's a very versatile. I mean, it's a well, I was gonna say it's a thermoplastic, but that's not necessarily the correct term, I don't believe. But I, after having it and stuff, I don't like the color. I do not like the color at all. It's just not, and I think it's a twofold thing for me because I'm not big on translucent scales either. And as you can see there, those scales are definitely translucent. You can see through them. And that's just not something I'm a fan of, honestly. Some people may be. That's awesome. That's cool. Me, no, not really. And I think that and the color combined just does not make me like the color of these scales. I have to specify it has to do with the color of these scales because as you can see there's some milling going on. And that actually gives it a really pretty darn good grip. I don't mind the feel of it at all. To me, it feels better than and of course, wow, mine goes blank. It might even I was gonna say G10, but you know, it feels better than the nylon scales. Yeah, it definitely does. It doesn't feel as, to me, those feel cheap. You know what I mean? Those kind of scales, not G10. G10 feels okay. Sometimes they can feel a little cheap if they're not done correctly. That's not the case with these at all. At all. GFN, no. I don't really care for GFN scales, glass filled nylon, or any of that basic type. Those feel cheap to me. These do not. They don't feel cheap at all. They feel pretty darn good. And like I said, with that milling going on, I do like it. I do like the material as a whole. In hand, getting a feel for it. I do like that. It's the color. It's the color and the translucence of the scales that I'm not really digging at all. Now, if we can, and this is the only color I've seen so far, is this sort of yellow, there's been some very descriptive words used for it, obviously. Pea yellow or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, not a fan of that color. If it came in black or another color, and the other thing that I understand about it is that you can't dye it. It won't take dye. So if you were, to try to dye this black, it probably wouldn't work very well. So that is kind of a downfall as well. But yes, if it colors, and I've heard it does come in black. I have not seen that as of yet. Perfectly honest with you, I haven't dove into it too deeply. Gotta be honest with you, I haven't. But I just wanted to get this material, this color, in hand just to see. And please make sure you understand that what I'm saying about the only negative about this knife is the color of the scales, the translucence and the color. The feel is great. The knife itself is absolutely fantastic. Love an ABW Model 1. Had 2 or 3 of them on the channel at this point, and all of them have been absolutely fantastic knives. Just I don't get the, yeah. I don't get the draw with these scales. I know some people said they like the color. Great. If you like it, good for you. Honestly, that's perfect. Not everybody's going to like everything. Some people like purple. I like red. Some people like blue. Some people like black. You know what I mean? It's just, we don't all have to like the same things. I'm definitely not a fan of the color, but the material itself, yeah, I don't mind it at all. I like it better than I like GFN. Absolutely, 100%. GFN just feels cheap to me. This does not. This does not feel cheap to me. It feels pretty solid. And the texturing is good. So now if it wasn't textured, who knows? It might be a little bit different take on it. But overall, as far as Ultem itself goes, I like the feel. It feels solid to me, but it's got to come in a different color, and not be this. Now, I wonder if the black is sort of translucent as well. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to see through it as well. Obviously darker color, you're not going to be able to see through as well. So that's something pretty, I might have to, who knows? Maybe he'll have more at Blade Show West and I can check them out, which would be awesome. Or anybody would have some Ultem scales in potentially a different color. I'd love to see that. So there you go, guys. That's my thoughts on Ultem. Don't know, that's my 2 cents if it's worth that. That and $17, you can get yourself a cup of coffee at Starbucks. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys, and watching. Greatly appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, leave me that comment. I love talking to you. Until next time, I'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.